and a one fish, two fish, and a one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue fish, and a one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue fish, and a one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue fish. Am I suddenly hearing Discord? What the hell? Am I suddenly hearing Discord? What the hell? Hold on, I'll be right back. I have a VPN. Hold on, I'll be right back. Open and I gotta shut that down. I have a VPN. Hold on, I'll be right back. Where am I? I have a VPN. Hold on, I'll be right back. Where am I? There it is, found it. All right, I'll be back. And thank you for the watch streak there, Charles. I'll be back. And thank you for the watch streak there, Charles. I'll be back. And thank you for the watch streak there, Charles. I'll be back. Insane in the membrane. All right, I'm back. I'm starting a new outfit. All right, I'm back. I'm starting a new outfit. All right. I think I already heard the YouTube. Hold on. This Twitch. There we go. All right, we're good to go. Let's start a new outfit. I'm thinking of a female magic user, and I have kind of an idea, as I wasn't sleeping properly last night. So when not sleeping, I design outfits. So that's what was going through my head last night. I think I'm going to start with the shorts from the tennis outfit, but I'm going to make them a little bit. The shorts in the tennis outfit currently go a little below the butt crack, but you can't see it because she's wearing a skirt. But we're going to take that. We're going to make them a little bit taller. Then I have an idea for kind of a tunic that goes on top of that. Belt, boots, and I'm thinking a cape similar to what I used in Dark Magic. Yes, I was awake dreaming of a sexy sorceress. You got it, baby. We're gonna make I need a spell book, and I need a staff, and I need a dagger, and I need a pouch, and I need potions. This may not be a good idea. Anyhow, let's dig up. I don't know if there's anybody else here, but we'll give Charles a shout out. Oh yeah. There we go. Let's get Marvelous Designer going here. All right, let's arrange you to fit a little bit better. Do that. Can I get the corner? I can get the corner. Yay! Actually, I want to track down the Dark Magic because there was I used a cape in that one. It was like the witch's outfit from maybe 2024. Anyhow, let me see if I can hunt that down. You know what? I think I have a fantasy folder for that stuff. File, let's do file, open project. Let's come over here. The pajamas are coming along nicely. I think I'm in the final. I should get that submitted probably Wednesday, realistically. I would like to do it tomorrow, but I'm still saving hierarchical material files and things. It is a little chilly today. We're in the low 30s and it's raining and we're going to have thunderstorms. Yay. Oh, by the way, it's the birthday week. So after Sunday, I get to call Charles Jr. again. Where are we at? I am looking for, I think It might be in fantasy. Don't I have a fantasy character? Oh, no, I don't. This is where I'm going to save the new project, though. 90 here. I would like it to be. I would more than willing to like that. It gets overly warm here, and I'm happy. I have to think of a name for this outfit, though. What are we going to call it? What is Silver Spell? I don't think I've used Silver Spell. Maybe that's what that's doing there. Let me see. When did I create that? I created that. You know what? That might be the what I was going to call the magic thing. So our magic outfit's going to be called Silver Spell. Um, I am looking for dark magic though. It was the witchy outfit. Oh, you know what? I have a creepy folder. Maybe it's in creepy stuff. Creepy season. There we go. Which 2024? Is that it? Dark magic. There we go. Do I have a... Which one of you is the last one? 8/31/2024. Let's take a look at that. See what we got. I just want to steal yeah, there we go. I'm going to steal this cape. We're going to make it bigger. And I'm going to reshape it. But I'm going to use this as a starting point. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a hat, but I think I'm going to avoid a hat this time around. There's that. So we're going to save this as a garment. And then I can use it as the starting point. So we're going to make a larger cloak for the magic user. So let's do this. Save as garment. And I'm going to call this a cape. Actually, it's a cape, not a cloak, right? Dark magic cape. Let's say cape dark magic. And I'll say that like so. Okay, let's go get those shorts from the tennis outfit. Open projects. That is in a folder called sports. There it is, sports, tennis, whip. I'm going to grab that. It's like, why create something that you already have a copy of, right? All right, we're going to save this as a garment, and then we're going to make it a little bit, because right now it's just below the butt crack. And as Nancy Reagan told me, crack kills. So, any file, save as, garment selected. And you are shorts. Okay, now we're going to do file new. And let's get our female avatar in here. Let's get that cape in here. File, open garment, date modified. So let me see. Hopefully I just brought in the cape. If not, we're deleting a lot of stuff. We're deleting a lot of stuff because I overdid it. All right, we're going to do that as the cape. I'm going to, you know what, let's get rid of the trim on that. We'll add trim back later, but for right now, we're going to get rid of that. And you know what, I'm probably just going to make a new one. I think we'll leave that there. Let's get the shorts in. File, open, garment, cancel, file, add garment. There we go. Shorts. They're going to be a little less short because those are damn short shorts. Oh no, the stupid selection missed a part. God damn it. Save as project. You know what? I'll just add Let's go to projects. Let's go to fantasy. Let's do that. Let's do the silver spell. Let's put a whip in here. Let's save this right here. I may not call it silver spell. I'm not liking the silver part of it is what it is. I want something, I don't know. We can ask ChatGTP for help. But for right now, I'm going to call it silver spell. So I need to add a little bit of the waistband. For that, 271. And I think this is a 5. That's a 10. Okay. S 271 10. Okay. I'm just going to sew that in there. I'm just going to put you like right there, right there. So I think we sew you to you. And then I'm going to sew that to that. And then I have to figure out which end are you. You're all the way over there. So we can't see what we're doing, but we can now. I'm going to take that and sew that over to this. Should be good. Since we're here, and since we have a material for this, I think it's not hat, cape, collar, short waist. There we go. Let's put that on. Excellent. All right, now I'm going to run this up. I think we're going to go at least 50. And we may end up tweaking. So I'm actually going to grab those 2 lines and just extend them up. But I need a little bit of room in here. I'm just going to pull that up. Nope. I'm just going to pull that up out of the way. We're just going to grab these 2. And we're just going to count 1, 2, 3. Maybe 4 will be good. And then we got a little bit of the waistband on there. I think 4 will be good. It's fighting me a little bit. We of course got a little janky over here because that's just the way things roll with this program. Okay, am I running a little loose now? I could probably make those. Yeah, look at all that extra space. You know what? I think we'll just take that back over here a little bit. Should take out a lot of that. And then we'll just gotta resize that. And then we'll work on tightening up the front a little bit. So I'm just gonna move you down to here where that says 135.7. Maybe just you a little bit. That length right there needs to be 135.7, 135.7. Do I see an arrow over there? I do. Okay. That means I gotta adjust that too. 135.7. But, oh look, that works. All right, let's see how that's looking. Still got a little bit of a And it could still probably be, you know, we're just above the butt crack though. I think that's gonna work. I got a little bit of a weird shape there. We can fix that. That's probably fine. I could probably be a little, no, that's probably okay. So let's just tweak that. So I'm going to take this and we're going to flatten that curve out, I think is what we're going to do. So I need to make that just a little shorter. I want to try to get that to be about 90 right now. It says 84.98. So we're just kind of move that 90. Excellent. I'm snapping this stuff. And then we just got to 252. So these need to be 252. I can't see which direction I'm going, so I'm going to back up a little bit here. Change length, 252. Looking good. Do it again. 252. I'm going the wrong way, so we'll change that. Say okay. Okay, I like that. That's a good start. So I'm going to run kind of a tabard over this. It's going to come down over the breast. I'm going to run it across the waist, and we'll put a belt on there that we can put our spell book, our pouch, and maybe our pouch with a dagger, and maybe a few potions. And then and this is where, so Sarah won't need the shorts. And then it's going to kind of drop down a little bit in the front. So it's going to come over the breasts, attach in here. There's going to be a cutout through here. And then it's going to drop down to here. And then we're going to bring it around the back. And then that's going to drop down in the back. And then we're going to make boots. I haven't decided. I think I'm just going to go with high calf boots. And I want to rework the Crossroads boots. I really liked that, but I didn't like my textures on that. Also, we're going to put a little bit of a heel on it. Maybe a Cavalier heel, which is like 1 inch to 2 inches. And then we work this. Okay, let me hide the cloak for now. So deactivate. And is it control Q, shift Q, hide? Got it. Okay. It'll run a strap that'll come up and over and attach back here to where this will come around. This will just attach and make a shape through here. I'm going to sketch this out. And we're going to do it in parts. There's going to be a piece that's going to run through here and here. Let's do the pen on the avatar thing. 3D pen avatar. There we go. So I'm just going to roughly, and then this is going to come and meet in the middle here. Then we're going to put a cup on that. And then this is going to attach to here. Come back down around this way. And then I'm going to, and then it's just going to kind of be a T in the back here. Kind of like that. I am going to, you know what, let's add a little bit of, can I just add a point there? And this is just going to curve. I want to, no, I need to do the edit. I know. Edit pen. And then I can, so this is going to come on. So that's going to come up through there. Do I want this up a little higher, maybe? Maybe we come through there like that. Which means maybe I line you up a bit more like that. And you're going to be in there somewhere. And then I'm going to put, how do I want to do this? I could do 1, 2, 3 maybe. That's a pattern I've never tried before. I usually do like 2 parts. I think let's try a 3-part on the breasts today. Am I still in edit? So I can just drag you over a little bit further maybe. And we'll go back to this. And then I'm just going to have you come up and over. And back down like that. Then I'm just going to have a part that's going to come up. I'm going to move that over a little bit, I think. And then I want a part that comes. You know what? Actually, why don't we come from here? Maybe something like that. Maybe I pull this point down to here. So maybe I did want that. Let me try that again. So maybe try that. And then we put a strap that runs over the top from here. All right, this is really rough, but it's kind of what I'm thinking. And then maybe I can get a belt in here, or I should probably just put a strap off of this that connects to the back to help hold it in place. All right, let's do a little bit of flattening. I can't tell. I think that's rotated funny. No, that's not. That's the way it's supposed to go. Never mind. What about you? We'll curve this out better. And then I'm going to make it a little more T-ish. These are going to be a little more T-ish, I think. So that's roughly... I'm going to move these shorts out of the way so that I can actually put my pieces in here next to where the avatar lines up. So I'm going to trace these out about here. I'm going to start with this one, and then I'm going to copy it and flip it over. Then we'll add the curve into it. Then I'll pull this over for the cutout, but it's got to come back to the waist. I'm going to do a circumference measurement in here. This is probably going to want a head, but I don't know. And then this might sit over the shorts. All right, let me just start. Let's start with this back piece, and we'll just do a polygon. And I'm just going to run you like so. And we'll put that in the back. And then we're going to pull these down so they have more coverage. But we'll start with this. And C and V, bring you over. Then I'm just going to flip your normals. I have to do that over here though. Flip them normals. Yeah, and then that just needs to be rotated. Like so. We'll just sew you guys together. Put you in the back. Bring you over to the front. I'm going to get rid of all of this. No, I still need it. Never mind. I don't need you, though. I have an idea what I'm doing now. Although I do want to bend. Let's put a little point right there. I'm trying to do a split. I've got the wrong thing selected. Let's put a little split right there. Okie dokie. Let's pull this down so it's curved a bit. So it goes along the underside of the breast. And that gives me a number that we're going to use for this in a minute. And then polygon tool. 1, 2. I've got the wrong tool. It's not doing anything. There we go. Gonna do that. I'm trying to balance those two out. That's about right. I'm off just a little bit, but not too bad. And then we just pull you out. Except you're too big. Because you need to be only 133. I can just do this until that's 133. 142. I could probably just change the length. And you know what? I should have paid attention. 130. It is 133 right on the nose. Change length 133. We'll do both so it pulls a little bit off of both ends like that. Okay, then I want to I'm probably going to curve this out a little bit so it'll match this. What are you, by the way? 107.8, 92, so I can probably, and are you guys like 107 or something? You're 94, 90. Actually, let's split these. So these will be 100. They're about the same, 0.2 of a millimeter difference. So let me pull this out so it's 100. Actually, let me pull it out to there. Get that one out to about 97. Then I'm going to pull this point up. I don't need you anymore. And what we're doing is we're going to pay attention to those measurements till they're like about 100 or so. Kind of like that. Alrighty, now I'm going to block this out. I'm going to put a curve in that, so I'm going to come back to that. Probably good enough. I might put a curve on this and I might not. I'm going to curve that back out this way. This should probably have a little bit of a curve to match that. So if I do, I think I'll set this one up now, or we'll get it started. 1, 2, somewhere in here so I can add a little more curve to it, and we'll put a curve on the top. Now I can get rid of you, bring you out, bring you out. I need to just maybe drag these over. 100.5, 100.3, 101. Let me change length on, what are you? You're 10.7, 10.5. That's really close. I'm just going to take that 2/10 off. Change length 100.7 or add 2/10, and I don't care which way it goes. 101.1. So let's set you to 101.1. 101.1. Okie dokie. All right, let's put a little bit of. I want this to come down. I'm just going to say 25, and we'll run a 1-inch. Basically a 1-inch strap that'll run down to the back. I'm going to move that just a little bit. Are you snapping? So that's a nice line there. You're not a nice line. You're an obnoxious line. Or maybe you're okay. Maybe that was okay. You don't look straight. Now you look straight. And you don't look quite straight. Now you're good. Okay, my measurements off just a little bit. Is good. Now we'll just add a little bit of curve into here. And a little bit of curve into here. That says 90 point. So let's that's pretty darn close. I'll probably put a little bit of a curve on this too. And maybe a little bit over here. We'll see how this goes. I don't think this is going to work out. I'm already not quite liking this. I'm going to sew it together, but I don't think it's going to. Put that over there. And let me get a strap to sew this up. Say 25 by 200 to start with. So I'm going to attach that there, and we'll position this over the shoulder. I'd probably need that to be longer. I should probably dig up a corset pattern or something. Yeah, that's definitely going to be too short. Let's just add a little bit more in here. Let's go ahead and sew this to the back. Let's go ahead and duplicate that over. All right, let's see how we're looking here. Oops, I should sew these together. You know, that's actually not too bad. How weird. I can use these need to come down so that this hangs down in here. But that's not too bad. I can probably take a little bit of the curves out of these so it'll sit a little bit better. Then we could just drop this down. Put a waistband or something in here. Let's adjust that. Let's see how that goes. See, that's more in line with what I was thinking. And then I'm just going to pull this way down here. And the same with the other one. And then we're going to put something on there to hold it together. I'll probably add a connector, a little bit of a connector in here. Anchor that to a belt or something. You know, they're almost in the right spot. I think if we just take them down a little bit more. Like that. So I think in here, I'm going to want 200, 200, 200. Let's do that. And we'll do a 1 inch. So I'm going to kind of put a... Actually, how big are you two guys? You're coming out to 221, which means maybe I put a little 180 piece in here. So here, we'll just drag these down so they're hanging out in here now. Where are we at? That's kind of the look I'm going for. And now I'm going to put something in here to help hold the sides together. Does Chris have no gravity on? We got no gravity. Gravity helps it fit a little better. In the initial stage, no gravity is kind of a good thing. But right now, I think we're ready for gravity. Oh, and I wanted this to be I want this to come out and have a cutout through here. We can still add that. That's okay. So kind of, I'm going to put a split in here. I'm going to do an offset as an internal line here. I'm probably going to get rid of this. I just want to use this as a guide. So let's put another split in here. And I'm going to put a split kind of like right about there. And I need another one kind of in here. I'm going to curve that out just a little bit. Let's take you guys. Move you like that. I want you to come over further. Let's pull a little curve into that. And then maybe pull you down a little bit. And then you can come maybe like that. Oh, I got that sewn up. Doi. Let's get rid of that sewing and then redo it. Did I not hit the delete button on that? There we go. I probably should put some sort of cool little piece in the middle here. That's better. All right, let's add a little strap that'll hold the front and the back together there. This will also be where I'm going to put a belt, I think. So I'm going to probably have the belt right over the strap and maybe covering the seams of the shorts. You're going to be right about there. And you're going to be about a 180 and a 25. Or actually, let's say 15. 180 by 15. That goes there. This. We'll have you line up right about in there. Let's make a copy of this. I should have moved these. Oh well. They'll go to the sides. They'll be fine. That's not too bad. I need to get a belt in here. Although maybe part of me is thinking that I probably should have these not connected up here, but connected down in here. So it pulls through on the waist. Oh, but then it's going to pull that way apart too. I don't know. Yeah, this is probably good. Or I'm starting to not like this. There is that too. I don't know. Let me see if I can add a belt. I think I saved a belt as a garment. So I'm going to add garment. So do I have... There's a belt. I think that's my generic belt. I'm going to make that thicker. And I'm going to give that a layer. Just so that it, it wants to sit on top of everything. Where is that layer thing anyhow? Layer, there it is. Let's make U10. And then if I do this, did I not have gravity on? I got gravity on. The belt just doesn't want to come down, does it? It's really floaty. I probably should make it wider and thicker. And am I going in the right direction? And my belt is backwards. I want it to actually point the other way. I have a bad tendency doing that with my belt. And do I have the whole belt selected? I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag this. No, I don't have the whole belt selected. Dagnabbit. Oh yeah, I'm going to sew you onto this, aren't I? Maybe not. See, that's a belt holding piece right in there. So if I sew the belt onto here, I'm leaning towards not attaching the belt to the rest of the outfit. Which means all these little parts in here we're going to get rid of. And if I change my mind, I'll just have to redo this. Okay, let's do that. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. Oh, I think I can get rid of you. I think we're just going to drag it and make it thicker. Lack of that. Oh no, I I needed to keep part of that, didn't I? All right, let's go back. There's a little piece. That one right there, I don't need. I do not want to get rid of you. I need to keep you. I think. Where are you? I think you're in here holding the ends together. Oh, and I'm supposed to have two of you guys. Why do I only have one? Well, where do you attach? You attach that. You attach that. So I need to make a copy of this and sew it into here. And then I debate whether or not we're going to keep this as an undoable belt. All right, you are attached to that. You are attached to that. So I'm going to take you and line you up in here. And I'm going to take you. We're going to drag both of you over here so I can see what I'm doing. Y'all are somewhere in here. You're attached to that, so I want to attach this. And you're kind of starting right there on the end. And you get to go in there. Okay, now I contemplate how I'm going to get this to be thicker. I think it's a matter of just making this thicker and then adjusting the length on that so it's wide enough. So I really don't need these ends to be longer, but I do need the and I want to get both of you at the same time. And you look good, and then we'll tweak the loop. Or maybe I won't even keep the loop. That was not what I wanted to do. Let's try this again. You know what? I just might. No, I'm gonna keep the loop for now. So the loop needs to be a little bit bigger than that. So we're just going to drag that down so that those points are a little past there. Then we do that. Hopefully it's fattened. It's fattened. Maybe I start you like this and then see if you can. See, that bottom part's supposed to be rolling and it doesn't seem to be rolling like it's supposed to. There we go. There we go. Getting there. So I just need to make it longer so it drops down onto the hips a little bit better. I'm probably going to regret this because it's probably going to fall in that zone where the thigh bends up into it. So I don't know, maybe if I take this up a little, well, here, let's just take you guys and actually let's do the, do I got a split in the middle here? I don't. And then when I do this, these are going to get moved a little bit. You know what? I'm going to put a cut in the middle so I can just, um, move the parts in the back. Where are you? Right through there. We're going to cut that so I can add my extra length back here. Otherwise, with all the sewing and the shaping I have up here, it becomes a little more tricky. So we're just going to put a cut and sew through here. And we're going to do this in baby steps. I'm just going to grab all of you. And we're just going to, oh, you all are going, you know what I should do? I should do like this. I'm giving myself plenty of room to work with back here. And we don't want to go too far or else it starts twisting funny. So we're just going to do this kind of little steps. Maybe we'll do 10 and 20 at a time so that it settles back out like that. And the idea is we're going to try to give it enough extra length to get down over this. That is the goal. All right, I'm getting there. I need to give this more room. Okay, so I want a couple more on that. All right, we're just starting to get over the... What I could do is I could always move this up too. Although I do want this to actually sit just over that edge of the short. So we're really close, I think. Add a little there. Add a little there. Oh no, it did that twisty thing that I was worried about it doing. All right. Let's take that and then do this. Okay, now we're going to move. I think that's good. You know what? I might not even use the... I might get rid of those. Actually, I don't... I might keep them, but I'm thinking they may be invisible so they can use it to kind of hold the shape of everything. Otherwise, I'm going to be relying on the belt. I think it probably worked better with those. So these might end up staying there but being invisible. I think I'm going to just drag this up a little bit higher though. And then we're going to hang a spell book. And I'm going to go steal a pouch because Chris has pouches. So if you got a good pouch, you might as well keep using it. I'm going to somehow work a dagger into the pouch, and then we're going to... So I mean, if I can get to it tomorrow, we'll be modeling the details. All right, let's work on this. So let's smooth these curves out a little bit. We're just going to flatten these curves out so it fits a little better. I think that'll help. And I've lost where it is. There they are. These ones are the worst. And then these. So I'm just going to drag you back until you're like, I don't know, 97 something. I can't read that. And then we drag you back until you're like 98.2. I think that's as good as that's going to get. So I can drag you back to 98. I just went past 98.2. How are you looking now? See, that's a nice line. All right, let's maybe flatten this out. That just dropped the whole thing. So let's take you back to 98. Can I just get 98 on the nose? And then take you back to 98. See how you two fit together? getting a little point in there. I could probably just smooth it out in Blender. Or we could maybe, I don't know, if I do that, does that pull that point out at all? And then I got a little bit of a curve in here. And how bad did I screw this up? Is that suddenly, oh, now that's like 95. And then I think I probably have and now you're 102. If I just bring you this way and you are 98.2. Let's see if I can just move you over till you're 98.2. Oops, I went past it. 98.1, pretty close. I think I'm good. Yo, Meow, how are you doing? I'm making a magic user outfit. I think I want to adjust the angle of this. I'm trying to keep that to 25. You know what? I'm just going to take it like that, and I'm just going to come in here and change length and just say 25. And I still want that to be a little flatter. Okay, just a working and a lurking. Yeah, it's a mage outfit. I'm going to add a cape to it, and we're going to give it boots. And we've got our belt, and we're going to give her a spell book and some potions and a pouch and a dagger. At least that's the plan. It's schmexy D&D. That's my inspiration. You know what? My belt keeps sliding off in a direction I don't want it. That's the reason why I'm going to keep those invisible straps. I think I'm in the ballpark. I want to flatten that out even further. And then reset that back to 25. Do that. I think those are going to be good. I'm going to, you know what? I think that's, my belt could be a little bit lower. Probably, you know what? I think I'm probably going to make an actual, I don't think I'm going to have an undoable belt this time. I'm leaning towards modeled thickness instead of I'm thinking I'm going to refine some things. Maybe we pull, maybe I add a little bit more in here so this droops down a little bit further. And maybe I'll put a little bit of an angle on that so it comes down into about here. I'm just gonna maybe just drop you down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm leaning towards making these thinner. Maybe like that. And then give that a little bit of an angle. And now I got to make that a little bit longer. And I think maybe bring you up, bring you that way, bring you this way. I think I need to make that a little bit longer still. Almost. I've got a little disparity in these angles. When this looks like it's one better smooth, I think that's probably going to be good enough. Like that. So if we make you guys, yeah, that works. All right, now I'm going to just add some curves to smooth things out. Those are okay. We're going to just curve out some of these holes, some of these harsh points, make it a little more refined. I think I'm going to make that a little wider and just put a small square in there. Let's do that. Let's do so 12.5 because I'm going to duplicate this by 25. I'm going to say okay to that. I'm going to do the tricky thing here, the unfold the symmetrical editing. Okay, I want you to be 25 now. That way, yes sir. That did not work. Let's try this again. You know what? I don't need this line anymore. That was just kind of a reference. Change length. 2.5. Say okay. I'm going to want to pull this down. I'm going to want to go ahead and if I put this in between, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. We'll adjust it. So you go to there. Oh, I should have deleted that sewing out first. And then we can put this sewing in. And let's see how that looks. I like that. Okay. Let's smooth the angles out on these. My belt just never hangs the way I want it to hang. It just goes and does its own thing. So do I want that to be a little bit wider maybe? No, I think I'm going to stick with that. Do I still want the cutout in the front? I think I do. Although maybe I get rid of this. I'm going to just butt these up so I can get a feel for, you know what, that's not too bad. All right, now we're just going to curve things out. I'm going to move you out of the way. And then I can kind of work on getting the cape in here a little bit better. So what we want is the smooth curve tool because I want these to be nice roundy shapes and not harsh points. So we're going to put that in there. I'm going to bring you around like that. And then I should do this one first. So we're going to put a curve in here. I'm looking at that angle down there where it says, I can't see. 88, that's probably close enough. I'm going to just convert you straight up to a curve point. And then we're just going to round that out. If I can find my roundy thing again. Where's my roundy thing? It's the smooth curve. That's what I was looking for. Yep, I think that's it. We're getting there. I think I need to just pin this belt on over here. Tack it. I'm sorry, the term is tack it because it's tacky. Let's get a little bit more length in that belt. And I have to do this in small steps, otherwise it twists onto itself. I'm almost there, I think. All right, I'm going to pull this down a couple of steps. We're going to round these corners out so that when this comes, because of the extra curvage in the booty, this ends up being a little short looking. I'm just going to lengthen that a little bit so it looks like it's more even in the front and the back. All right, now we're just going to curve these off. Or do I want to? Yeah, I'm just going to curve them. Smooth those. I'm paying attention to the number there. 50. Yo, Dapster Dan, how are you doing, buddy? Probably good. I'm making a magic user outfit. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. I think I'm going to go with that. Part of me's thinking I should pull these back and pull that forward or something. Nah, I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. And thank you for the shout out for Dan. Quite busy at work. Be lurking. I appreciate that. Model's going well. We're starting a new outfit. I had an idea for maybe a D&D kind of magic, sexy female magic user. With optional shorts. Phone makes noise. Why do you keep making noise, phone? Damn you. And we're going to have a belt, and we're going to have stuff on the belt, and she needs a staff. So tomorrow's modeling day. Today is just basically, let me dig up some boots. Actually, let's work on the cloak. So I'm kind of happy with the direction that's going in. I need to do something to... Anyhow, let's just freeze all of this for now. And then let's bring you back to life. And you know what? I think I'm probably going to just redo... I'm going to leave these in here for right now. I've got a collar. But I think I'm going to redraw that. How big are you? I don't know. Let's get you. Let's activate you. Where is it? Right there. I got my cursor on it. Nope, that was an archive. That was an activate. That's the activate right there. And let's make you visible. And let's let you So this was from an outfit I did in 2024 called Dark Magic. I'm going to want this to come out this way, and I want this to be a lot longer, about 2 to 3 times the length of that. Said because I've got these curves on here, I'm just going to redraw this. Let's start with a ellipse. Let's start here in the middle. And I'm going to say radius. I'm going to say 500. I'm going to say 700. Let me try that. We can always, it's always easier to make these things shorter than longer. I'm going to measure this out and we're going to put a circle in it. It's thinking, oh, I'm all out of VRAM. Look at that. It's still thinking. All right, I'm going to hit save. That didn't work. Don't you hate it when save is what causes it to crash? That's the worst, man. Let's see if we've got an autosave. Oh, yeah, it's National Onion Ring Day. Yum, yum. Yeah, let's take a look at what we got autosaved because I haven't saved this. Okay, I lost all my curving. We were here last. Uh, File, save as, project. You're totally in the wrong spot because that's just the way you roll, right? Fantasy, Silver Spell, Whip. I'm just going to overwrite that. On the positive side, stuff always goes faster the second time. So we're going to just, let's add a little bit more to the belt. All right, let's curve out our stuff. So you can see that last thing we did was a curve here. So that's what we were up to. Smooth curve. There we go. Put a little smooth curve in there. Smooth curve that. Smooth curve that. I'm going to smooth curve you. I'm going to just convert you into a curve point. I'm just going to take you and drag you down until that gets closer to 90. Right about in there. That's 90. That makes a nice clean angle across. Okay, so that's the curving done. Now I'm going to incessantly save. Okay, so I was doing 700 on this. You know what? I think I can get rid of you. No, I want to keep you. I want to, but we were going to drop in a new ellipse. And I was doing a radius of 700. Let's say 600. 650. And we say okay to that. This makes for an awful lot of fabric. Although my memory's cleaned up, so there is that. There we go. All right, let's chop this in half and delete half of it. Oh, I should save or hide this stuff. Anyhow, let's just do a cut on that. Get rid of you. I'm going to put a split. I'll do a uniform so it's right in the middle. All right, I'm going to split there. I'm going to choose a nice round number like 50. Say okay to that. Then we're just going to match that down here. And I'm just going to take you. I want to undo that. Oh no, I can't see chat. My bad. Yeah, it's also National Kissing Day. Yes, I noticed that. I went with celebrating onion rings. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring this in a little. I'm going to run a cut over to here. We'll go ahead and cut that. Delete this. Got to get back to work. All right. Appreciate the lurk, man. All right. Where are you guys? You're probably still deactivated and hidden, aren't you? Activate. Unhide. There we go. So that's around the collar there. And what I want to do is, you know what? I'm going to convert you into a curve point. I'm going to measure this. 155. So I want that to be 155. How many? I need another one of these. It's starting to get a little sluggish in here. And then I'm going to pull you over this way. I don't want to go past 155, so that's probably good right there. And now I can get rid of these other parts. These I don't want anymore. This I'm going to line up over the shoulder. Put you up in here. Down in there. Let's sew this into here. And do I have a cape? Yep, you're going to be cape. And then let's do an unfold. Unfold symmetric editing with sewing. All right, let's hit save. Okay, I'm going to freeze all of this stuff while we let the cloak go crazy. All right, that was the wrong button. That's right, but something came apart. What the hell, collar? I feel like I lost some of my sewing in here. I have a feeling that this is supposed to be sewn to that, and that is supposed to be sewn to that. Oh, you know what? It probably had small little holding pieces in here. You're getting twisted around. God damn it. Oh, there we go. That's better. Oh, it's going under the belt. Oh, no. Because the belt has a layer to it, it wants to get in. So we're going to... And actually, I think that's going to be a good length on that. So I got to give this a layer so it sits on top of everything. And that'll be our cape. And now let me see about getting some boots in here. What do I have? I have a half hour. I want boots to come up to about here. And I have a style, and I want, I don't know, let's go look at my boots that I have at Daz. I'm thinking of stealing the pirate boots and reworking those to look a little bit like the Crossroad boots. So I'm going to show, who am I? I'm Mr. Cox. Okay, so the pirate outfit's got these nice cavalier boots. So I kind of like this bottom style here, and then I'm going to have it come up, and I think what I'm leaning towards is, where is it? Nope. Where does it go? Are you not in order? It's sorting by relevance. There it is. I like these boots, but I didn't like the way the textures ended up on them. So it's got these nice little buttons on the side. So I think I'm going to do something like that. We're going to rework the Cavalier boots. And I'm going to have these nice button. And they're these little loopy button things. So I kind of remember how I did that. So let me see if we can dig up the Cavalier boots. Control. I'm going to save you. I still have to chop this all up into different little pieces. And I'm not quite loving it, but I don't know. I keep having the D&D Magic User ID in the back of my mind, so it's probably a good idea to get it out. There's still 1950s combat, dude, but there's so much to do on that. Just getting the M1 rifle to look better feels overwhelming. So I saved that. You know what? I'm going to hunt down the Cavalier boots. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to hit save again. Okay, so I know I have it saved. I don't need you. we're going to go over the programs or projects. I think this was just in Pirate by itself. Pirates, there we go. Seawolf. Whip, did I do the boots by themselves? Pirate boots. So I'm going to take that strap off of it. I'm going to put a seam on the side and possibly make them a little bit taller. I don't, maybe, no, I don't think I'm going to flip the flap over. Anyhow, I need you out of the way so we can see. So I'm going to get rid of this. Do I have an avatar in here? I probably got an avatar in here. There's no, let's do display, avatar, show avatar. There we go. Yeah, I think I want to get this up further. I want to put a cut through here. Maybe put that on a little bit tighter. And maybe shape this a little bit better so that it's not, so that's going to go away. And yeah, I'm going to start here, run up to here, and there's going to be these little, this pattern here with the buttons that'll run up to here. So let's see if we can get you up further. Marvelous designer done died again. All right, let's try this again. Are you in my recent list? You are. Sleeves is still on my recent list. All right, those go away. That's going to go away. Let's get our avatar in here. And let's go to File, Save As, Project. You'll be Silver Spell Boots. I think we're going to go to ChatGTP and try to find a better name. I'm not quite loving Silver Spell. I like the spell part. I don't like the silver. Projects, fantasy, silver spell, whip, spell, boots. All right, let's get the avatar visible in here again. So I think that's about where I want those. So I think I want to take a little bit out from here. We'll curve that in and then curve back out to go across the calf. And are you symmetrical? You're not. So I'm going to have to kind of, so you're going to come in a little bit like that. I'm going to bring you around a little bit like that. Then I want to come back up into about here and curve you back out around the calf. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Now I'm going to make sure that these match the same. 3237, 3229, change the length. Is it, what did I say, 323.7? Let's see how those are lining up. See, that's giving me a little bit nicer shape. I like that. Okay, I'm going to run a split from here to about there. And then I'm going to add these little scallop pattern through here, which will actually be buttons to put it onto the side. I think that'll look cool. So I'm going to just cut that. I'm going to move you back just a little bit like so. I'm going to offset as an internal line. 15 maybe. Let's see, is that? Yeah, and then I'm going to attach the buttons onto here. So what you need to do is we're going to then split this, and I'm going to add curves to it. So let's take this and give me some room to work with here. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to do a uniform split. And then I'm going to stagger points out and round them out to make the... So we're going to do a split. I'm going to do a uniform split. So that's 2 buttons. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9. Maybe 9 buttons. Let me see how this works. Let's try this. It should be like every other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Damn it. Seven, 8, 9. Yay. And then those are going to come out like that. I'm probably going to put this line in a little bit closer. But these we're going to round out. So they look like that. And then they're going to have the buttons in here. So you know what? I don't need that as far over. And then I'm going to put the buttonholes in over here. Put the buttons. I need to offset as an internal line. What did I do? 15. Maybe we do 7. Say okay to that. Maybe a little bit further. I think I'm going to redo that as a 10. And this is mostly a guide. I think that'll be about... I don't know. Maybe that's the good spot right there. Maybe I already have the good spot. Let's see how this works out. Get rid of you. Start with a button in here. I'm going to swap these out for a different kind of button when we get to... So in Blender, I'm going to detail this out. And also, let's give you a layer so that you want to come out on top. And what was I doing with the button? I'm going to take a button. I'm going to put a button right about there. Did I not get my button? There we go. I got a button. So we're going to select and move. So I can kind of just adjust that button like so. Copy. How does this work again? Is it Shift C, Control C, Control V? Right click. Number of buttons. Interval. And what do I got right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8, 9. And then we just kind of tweak that. So it's going to set up. Maybe what is 38? 38 is just a hair too far. 37.6. 37.5. I think I'm going to go with that. Let's say okay to that. Okay, let's put buttonholes over here so they will line up. Can I do that? Copy all of these. And Control V. Copy. Paste. So we can kind of get these in here. Hey, Willie, how are you doing today? I'm going to have to tweak these a little bit because they're not quite lining up. Do I have one too many buttons? Is that my problem? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 goddamn buttons, damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did not want 10 buttons. So we're coming back to here. And then I can do a paste. Nope, I can do a copy. Then I can do a paste. And the magic number was 8. And we'll do 30. We'll do 40. We'll do 41. We'll just walk that. That might be good. And let me just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we're happy now. Oh, well, say hi to your daughter for us. Now, copy these. We're going to make buttonholes so they sit on top. We're working on boots for a magic user outfit. I'm cannibalizing my pirate boots. All right, paste. Nope, let's try that again. Copy. Nope, that was a... God damn it. Let's try this again. Copy. Paste. That brings all of these over like that. That's better. I'm going to put them right in there. Can I paste his buttonholes? I think I'm good. And then I think I can convert you to buttonholes. And then we can lock these up. Where's the fasten buttons? Like that. All right, let's see how this is looking. There we go. I'm going to replace these with little round spheres, though. And it's going to look kind of like that. And we're going to, this has got a big heel on it, but it's going to be a big chunky heel. It's a cavalry heel. I just wanted to use a nice heel, but you know, we don't use the thin heels. I think that's going to work. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to put a little trim on the top of this, and then this goes over to Blender for some work. I'm going to put just a thin little offset as an internal line. I think maybe a 5 will be good here. And I think this is good. We're not going to keep the buttons, but you know, we're going to export the rest of this. So that's going to be the boot for this outfit. File, export, OBJ selected. We're not working in PJs today. We're going to go over to Fantasy. That's right. I still need a better name. I don't like the, I'm calling it Silver Spell, but I don't like that. So I'm going to change it. You are, I'm going to just say Spell Boot. I'm going to Spell Boot OBJ. Okay, we don't want the avatar. I don't want the buttons. I'm just going to say okay to that. We got to clean this up a little bit. Let's go ahead and hit save on this. Let's close that. Let's take a, actually I'm going to show you how the outfit's looking. That's Blender. I should have just opened up the outfit. So the outfit's kind of a little skimpy, but it's got a cape. And I'm going to want way too many props, so we'll see how far we get with that. Where did it go? Spell something. Silver Spell, there we go. So these boots are going to go with this outfit. And that's what we've got so far on the outfit. All right, so we're going to go pop into Blender for a few minutes. I've got just like 10 minutes left. So we're going to do a little bit of work on the boots and then call it a day. The pajamas are coming along nicely. I'm in the final, I'm doing the last of the hierarchical mats for that. And then I have to make some tweaks and then do the promo materials. Oh, by the way, happy National Onion Ring Day. Yay. Here's Blender. Let's do an import. Let's go to projects. Let's view you as a list so I can find what I'm doing. Fantasy, Silver Spell, Whip. There's the boot. Okay, I gotta rework the toe a little bit because I'm not crazy about that shape, but that's easy enough to do. I'm gonna pull the heel down. We're gonna make a sole out of this. Do I have any material set up yet? No, I just have the one. You know what? We're gonna call you boots. I'm going to say boots shaft. That's going to be the majority of it. Let's add a sole material in here. We'll do that. Then I'm going to assign this off the sole. Let's give that a color. We can't see that here, but you can't see it over here. Let's hide that. Select that. Add that to the sole. Okay, unhide. That works. I'm going to just extrude that. a little bit like so. Okay, I'm gonna straighten this out and pull the heel out of this. So we'll just G-stretch. And I'm gonna partially G-stretch that. We're gonna not go 100% on that. We'll just dial it back just a little bit to keep a little bit of that curve in there. And you know what? I think I'm going to, and then I'll do the same thing here. We'll just G-stretch that and maybe dial it back, but I don't know. Maybe not. You know what? That's probably fine. Now I just have to figure out, you know what? I'm thinking that'll be the heel. Make it a little bit smaller. Something like that. I'm going to put a couple of cuts in there just so. So I do want to add an extra. So we're modeling thickness on this, and I think I'm going to model it along this edge here. Let's try stupid blender tricks like this. So I'm not going to do that, but can I just bring you along like, nope. So I just have to, I'm just going to manually, and the polys are a little rough, but we're going to put a sub D on this at some point. I can do that. That saves me a little bit of time. I selected the wrong thing there. So I'm going to duplicate that and then move it in a little bit. And then I can just fill that in, and that will give that edge thickness. I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. And then I'm going to have this one weird try down here at the very end, but that's okay. It's fine. Tries aren't as evil as they used to be. And then I'm going to come up here so I can keep it eye up. And then basically we just fill those in. Whee! Until we get to there. I got one more to go. All right. Same thing. I'm going to kind of just do this edge. I could just extrude that and then just scale that, but not on the Z. So we kind of get that going on. These could be a little bit better. Oh, I think I'm going to. What if I fill it? I know that is really evil. And then if I do a little inset like that, you know what? That's going to work. I'm going to have to clean this up though, so that goes away. That's going to go away right there. And then I'm just going to finish this edge. And we're just going to join these two together like that. That went wrong. Let's try this again. So I want that, and that. Why are you being weird? I have the feeling there's something odd with the normals or something. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That should make a face. There we go. That's what I wanted that to do. Now we've got a little bit of thickness to that. I actually want more thickness on this. I probably should have made that thicker. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be fine. And I'm going to drop the buttons in here, and then we're going to call it a day. Just so we can kind of get a feel for what's going on. So they're just going to be like spheres that are going to just be as if there were buttons coming through here across that flat. Mesh. Let's do use V sphere. Let's say 16 by 8. I'm going to delete off just the bottom part of that, and then I'm just going to orient this up and line them up. Tab 1, 2, delete those. No, I didn't want to delete faces. I actually wanted to delete vertices. That's what I want. And I'm just gonna, I want this to be a little flatter like so, but not too flat. I kind of want to keep it kind of a little more round than a normal button. Probably good. All right, let's scale you down. Scale you down some more. That might be, we might tweak this a little bit more. Let's set origin to geometry. And I'm going to work local on that. Okay, that could be a little bit smaller. Kind of like that. Oops. What's that blue? The blue is a Z. I want it a little more round. I think that'll do the trick. Tap out, shade smooth that. You know what? Since we're here, this will just be boots button. Like so. All right. Then I'm just going to duplicate these. Actually, I should UV map. No, I'll UV map them later. They have an open back. They'll just flatten out. They'll be weird on the edge. Let's actually... I'm going to mark a few seams just here on the edge so it splits a little bit. So, what did I say? 16. So if I put a split there, and then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and mark a seam there. And then we count 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to mark a seam there, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to mark a seam there. And then 3AU unwrap. Let's see how that's kind of what I was expecting. Okay, that's fine. And then it's a matter of just Shift D and kind of, and then we'll go in and fix up the alignments on these better. But we're heading in the, god damn it. See, now I'm getting on the inside. Oh, where am I? I think I was on this. What are you doing down there? You don't need to be. Let's redo. There you are. Let me look at this from the front. Just move all of these. And then we're just going to call it a day because it's just past 4. So we're going to look for somebody to raid. It is Monday, June 22nd. It's officially summer now. Everybody got naked at Stonehenge. So I heard. I could be wrong. And this is where we're going to leave off. Have I saved this yet? I have not. It says unsaved. Save as whip. You're going to be spell boots. Until I come up with a better name. Save as. Okay. And we're going to call it here for the day. Those normals are looking janky, but we'll fix them. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, stick around. We're going to look for somebody to go hang out with. We're looking for some of the art friends. And barring that, Bronto Saver's on. We're going to go hang out with Bronto Saver because I'm lazy that way. I'm just double checking and making sure there's not another art friend that we should go hang out with. I think Bronto's going to work for today. Bronto Saver doing art. What are they up to today? Trying new acrylic paints. Liquitex. Part 4 is still not done. It's a boat and a lighthouse. So anyhow, thank you all for being here. I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're probably going to be working on... My tentative plan is to be working on props for this outfit. So we need to come up with a spell book and a spell book case. I'm thinking of potions on the belt. I'm thinking of a pouch on the belt. I want to do a staff and a dagger. And I think I'm going a little overboard with this stuff, but that's the tentative plan. Of course the book will open. That's the reason why it's a pain in the ass. I think I'm gonna make it just morphs though. I think I will just have an open morph and maybe a morph that'll move a page about. I don't think I'm gonna rig it. So that's tentatively what we got planned for tomorrow. So anyhow, let's go over say hi to Bronto Saver. Hey, check out CS Bond. He's a cool cat. Doesn't stream, but give him a follow anyhow. It'll make him feel special because he is. And I don't mean that in a Jerry's Kids kind of way. Although there's nothing wrong with that. What are we doing now? Oh yeah. Hey, I sell stuff at Dad's. Buy my stuff. I have a Discord. Feel free to join. And we have raid calls. Feel free to copy the one if you're here on Twitch. If you're not a subscriber, you can use that. If you are a subscriber, you can use this raid call. And let's do this. /raid. And I'm going to copy and paste. Bronto Saver shouldn't be that hard to spell, but you never know. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. I hope you all have a good rest of National Onion Ring Day and a rest of a good Monday. And hasta la vista, baby.